Peach fuzz is the color of the year. Fendi recently made our beloved childhood show Pokemon luxury. Celine is coming up with headphones in collaboration with Master and Dynamic. We saw the famed Harry Potter star Maggie Smith at the center of Loewe's new Spring 2024 pre-collection campaign. Talking about Loewe, we recently saw Aubrey Plaza wearing a dress that was sensational. It garnered a lot of memes, and I personally love some of them. There was like a to-do list, and there was something that said, "Before you ask me, it's Loewe." And also the iconic Carrie Bradshaw's line that said, "I'm sorry, I can't do it, don't hate me." So well, and like she wore it for the Emmys, and I personally thought it was really cool. Today's episode is all about the hit and the missed collaborations, the changing luxury landscape, and more. So before we start today's episode, let me introduce to you our lovely guest. He is a luxury wizard, and his knowledge when it comes to the aforementioned topics is vast. With a deep-seated love for fashion for as long as he can remember, he has worked with DLF Emporio and other renowned brands. Soon after which, culminating all the wealth of expertise, he co-founded Tan. For those who don't know what Tan is, it is a leather bags and accessories brand. Not just that, he also helps various brands with marketing and building strategies. So for all the brands who don't know where to go, now you know where to go. Last but not the least, he also makes really informative content on Instagram on everything that is trending in the world of fashion and luxury. Please welcome Rakshit Singh. Hi, Rakshit.
Hi, how are you? I'm already
I'm
excited
good.
hearing the introduction.
God, yeah. I mean, I hope so that you're excited. I hope the show
Yeah.
goes well.
It will.
So, yeah, let's see. So Rakshit, before we start, your glasses look really cool.
Oh,
Yeah. So, what is the brand that you're wearing the
it's
glasses
actually
from?
Gucci. It's a many-year-old Gucci, and people keep asking me to send them the link, and it's
Yeah.
actually not available anywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm really facing that. I'm still trying to find it, and as soon as I find it, I'm going to give it out.
Okay, nice. So, how did you enter the world of fashion? And, also, do you think like fashion is everybody's cup of tea or not?
I mean, as far as I remember, the time from the time we are born, I mean, we have to wear clothes.
Yeah.
And just wearing clothes for whatever is happening, and especially in India, I mean, I think it's such a wide environment. I mean, the way we dress up, the way we see people dressing up, from our mothers to our aunts who are so used to buying fabrics and getting things made.
Yeah.
It's so culturally rich in terms of fashion. I mean, it's a part of our lives. It's a part
Of
of our
course.
day-to-day life.
Do you
So-
still buy fabric and get things made, or you just purchase everything
I mean, the
ready?
time when I have time, I certainly like to do that because we like to make what we wear.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we don't have that kind of time now anymore. And there's such
Correct,
great
yeah.
friends and people doing great stuff. So
Yeah.
it's
Got it.
it's readily available in the market now.
Yeah. So I was reading, while I was prepping, I was reading, there's something called grandfather aesthetics that's currently trending.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's like, vintage loafers and, all those vintage knitwear and
Yeah.
sweaters and vests. So do you think that you would incorporate this trend into your wardrobe?
I think I have been doing that.
Okay.
And this grandfather aesthetic, I mean, all these things have just been stimulated thanks to the internet now.
Yeah,
It has
yeah.
always existed. We have always been dressing up like that.
Yeah.
Be it the quiet luxury segment that has suddenly boomed up and people think it's a new phenomenon. No, it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
People have been doing that since forever. So I think whatever is happening is only getting more seen thanks to the reels and the internet.
Correct.
But certainly, I think everybody should do and think what they would like to. I have been dressing up like my grandfather since I was like a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
I love my neutrals. I love my beiges. So it's great.
Yeah, I think you definitely incorporate what you see in your family. Like
Yeah.
I've been channeling the grandma inside me for a while now. Yeah. Okay,
It's
so
always great too.
yeah, yeah. So Tommy Hilfiger will return to the New York Fashion Week, and in a statement, he said that the show will be an ode to New York City because the city taught him to dream big. So when we talk about dreams, are you living your dreams when in the fashion industry in terms of your career? Is there something more that you're aspiring for?
I mean, I'm only filled with gratitude every day, but there's so much more to do. I mean, we just like in today's time, I think with everything that's happening around us, we are hustlers. We just wanted to keep doing more things. I mean, we were just speaking about it
Yeah,
right before
yeah,
this
yeah,
started.
correct, yeah.
So I think we're never satisfied, but of course, there's only gratitude. We are living our dreams, but we also want to do so much more.
Correct. So you've studied luxury brand management. Was there something that you learned while doing the course which common people don't know about, and they would find it sort of interesting,
Vastly, it was about the luxury world, firstly. I come from a place of India which was not too versed with this. It's a place in Uttarakhand called Rudapur.
Oh, nice.
So it was a great start to me in terms of entering the fashion world.
Yeah.
But of course, the things that we have studied at that point and if I see the world of luxury now, it has completely changed.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
correct.
the way, I mean, the world has to evolve. If it's
Yeah.
not evolving, then it's not moving. But I mean, there were so many things that we have learned in terms of how brands work, how brands position themselves, how brands get made. I mean, certain things. I mean, I don't think you will get to hear it in like a podcast, for example. You can
Yeah.
just hear like 20 minutes of snippets, but to get that knowledge, you have to get into it and know what it is completely about.
Correct.
Yeah.
Got it. So where did you do
It's from
the
Pearl
course from?
Academy.
Nice.
It was a 3-year course and very wholesome, I must say.
Got it. So decoding the schools, which are the schools that one can go to? Because a lot of times, like people who are just starting out in fashion, or like young aspirants, like they're often confused that where should we apply, what should we do? They often think it's much better to just study outside. Do you think that's the case, or do you think even our country has a lot of opportunity when it comes to fashion?
I mean, it's only growing day by day.
Yeah.
School can only give you as much. You have to
Correct.
make the most out of it.
Yeah.
Beat NIFT, beat Pearl, beat Marangoni. We have so many options in India now.
Correct.
And I mean, you can just be there for 3 years. You have to give it your all.
Yeah.
And after that, what you do is what makes you.
Absolutely.
You just can't be there for 3 years and then after that you are sitting in your home,
Yeah.
comfortable and being like, I know everything. I mean, it's not going to land up anywhere.
Definitely.
So,
yeah, I think work experience is
it is the most
essential.
important. You
Yeah.
should keep doing interviews, keep working with people, beat whatever, start from the bottom, take it
Correct.
from there.
Yeah.
And I think that's what gives you so much experience.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of going out and studying, people want to do that, great, but like
Yeah.
India has a lot of options, so we can be comfortable.
So India has a lot of options.
It has a
guys.
lot of
Yes.
options, and I think
Yeah.
this is the place to be. I mean, I would say people from outside will come to India and see what's happening.
Great. I love that answer. Okay, so you're not just a content creator, or like you just don't give strategies to brands, but you also have your own brand.
Yeah.
And when we talk about the entrepreneurial space, like especially we see a lot of Gen Zs and a lot of millennials now, they want to get into that space. So firstly, how did you come up with the idea of starting this brand? What was like your goal towards it? And then I'll ask you a few more questions later, but let's start with this.
I think the Tand is co-founded by 3 people.
Yeah.
It's me, Ritika, and Kopal. And we all had a similar vision to bring up something which is of international standards.
Yeah.
An accessory brand which speaks for itself and it's of complete great international standards. And that's what we're trying to build, actually.
Correct.
We started right before COVID. I mean, we thought that it'll get into a sort of a break situation because COVID suddenly happened.
Yeah.
But thankfully, during that time, we launched a product which was a phenomenon. I mean, it was the mass chains
Wow.
that gave us the recognition that I think we would have taken many years to get.
Correct.
I mean, we got accepted like nothing else, and I'm only grateful for whatever happened during that time.
Yeah.
So the brand really sort of started. It was the base foundation days of I mean, I would say COVID was that, actually.
Got
Right
it.
after that, we launched our campaign, and I think very recently, in November, we launched our 3rd campaign.
Okay.
So let's see where it goes.
Great. So for people looking to become entrepreneurs, what do they have to offer that's sort of different? Because like the space is so crowded now. Like, if you want to open like a accessories or a beauty or a fashion brand, like you see so many. So what is it that you have to offer differently or do differently in order to sort of, get that recognition?
I mean, it's very important to find the right product for you to start. But if your thoughts and interest lies in something which is already in the market, just be confident about that.
Got it.
Just find your niche, find your people, find the crowd that you're trying to cater to, and just go for it. I mean, you have to give it your all. And it's not easy.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
you shouldn't be worried that a product is already existing, so you can't like go ahead with the same.
I mean, it's easier if you have the first movers advantage, I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
But I mean, this in this world of internet, there's also plagiarism.
Correct.
So even if you launch something, there will be hundred of people looking for it and just making that same thing again and again. I mean, I remember our machines getting copied left, right, and center, and we after a point we couldn't care less because we were like, okay,
Yeah.
we are doing what we have to do. We are
Correct.
getting what we have to get, and it's okay.
Yeah, but I feel like certain brands, like especially like the bigger ones, like they sort of want, like they have a marketing strategy where they sort of want their things to be like have first copies and second copies and things like
I
that.
mean, that's what's happening, I would say. I
Yeah.
don't have any data to support that.
Yeah.
But
Neither do I.
yeah, but
Yeah.
like it's all over the market. I mean, the moment it gets copied, I think they made it. So
Yeah,
and that's what we thought when it
Yeah.
happened to us. So
Yeah.
great.
Got it. Okay, so Vaishali S was amongst the first
Yeah.
designers, to partake in like the Paris Fashion Week. And now we see like a Bulgari Kada. For those who don't know, Kada is like the holy bracelet of the Sikh community. So when we talk about the ever-evolving luxury landscape, according to you, how have Indian designers at large or like, India at large, influenced these global fashion trends?
I mean, I think it has happened since I remember.
Yeah.
Remember seeing a Jopagoti sari on the runway or whatever. So many designers have done that actually.
Yeah.
And today, I mean, I was just there at the Bulgari B01 Kada launch, and it was a
Correct.
great moment for all of us because it's the right example of how West meets the East.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're actually showing, because it's not only that they're launching it, there's also a story, I believe, because India has been so connected. And it's such a cultural thing for India and,
Yeah.
sort of precious metals. So I think it made all sense for them to dig on this market. Because they also know that, sort of India is so big on jewelry.
Yeah,
The spending
yeah.
power in terms of buying jewelry is so much more than, I would say, a lot of countries. So I think they are making the right moves. And as the CEO of Bulgari said, that they're actually trying to pitch India amongst the top 5 countries that they would like to, like, it can become possibly like the top 5 countries, whatever he said. I don't exactly know.
Got it.
But I think that's what's happening. And now India is influencing so much more. I mean, look at our designers doing
Yeah.
such great work, be it Gaurav Gupta, be it Rahul Mishra. It's all just
Absolutely.
coming along. So we are very excited for that.
Great. So you were like one of those people who attended the events, and a lot of people like who see it on social media or whatever, like they often don't get a chance to sort of be at the event. So what is it actually like? Like, let's say if we have to decode being in an event for like a like a person like who's watching this. So what is it like? Like, what's the experience? Like, is it something overwhelming? Is it something cool? Like, do you have fun? Like, what is it?
Aha.
Yeah.
Actually, I wasn't expecting that question at all.
I know. I just thought of it and I
No,
was like,
that's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
I would say it's, of course, an opportunity for everybody to be attending these events because these are, I believe, milestone events. There's so many sort of events that happen and we get to
Yeah,
attend all
yeah,
of that.
yeah.
But this certainly was one of the milestone events because it was India meeting so much, like it was just a moment for all of us.
Correct.
It certainly is meeting of a lot of people from the industry, first to say. Then to be getting to know exactly the thought behind it and like one-on-one interaction with the brand people and all is just great, I would say.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a moment of pleasure. It's also a little, I don't know, it's just great, I would say.
Yeah. Also, I feel like, whatever information that you get, you share it with the people. So
Yeah.
it's sort of nice, like
Yeah.
to do it that way. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So anyway, you spoke about jewelry. And I feel like today, like all genders, like, they are playing around with jewelry, accessories, and it's growing. Like, even Ayushman Khurrana said
Yeah.
that, in 2024, he'll be doing a lot more of that. So the thing is, how do you perceive the role of jewelry when it comes to breaking gender norms? Or like the traditional gender norms, like, earlier you wouldn't see, like you would find it odd, like, if you tell my dad, like, back in the day ki, papa, you wear like a necklace and go out, he would be like, no, I'm not going to do that.
But remember from people before that, the royalties,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
always did that.
Yeah, the royalties did it. Yeah.
So they always did that, and even if you pick up like the how did the periodic films,
Yeah.
we always saw men wearing jewelry. I don't know how much can I do it and how much confident I am in doing that, but I'm seeing a lot of people do that, and it's just great.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much inclusivity in today's generation, in today's world. It's just great. I think there's space for everybody to be experimenting and doing everything without getting, what do we call it, without getting judged.
Correct.
At least in our space. I
Yeah,
mean, there are, of
yeah.
course, trollers and people who will keep saying whatever they have to say, but who cares about
Always,
them?
always. Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay.
I think it's a part of it. Like if you put yourself out there, some people just troll you. Some people might have opinions, and it's okay. Like I mean, it's
It's
fine.
absolutely fine.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they are doing what they have to do. We are doing what we have to do.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Great. So when you talk about inclusivity, what are some of the changes that you would like to see? Like, of course, we've come a long way. We've come a long way in the fashion industry. But still, do you feel like we still have to go a long way? That there are more things that we can do to make it slightly more inclusive in any way?
I mean, there is so much happening. Firstly, I would like to just point out that we are trying to be body inclusive,
Yeah.
which has become a thing on all the runways, on all magazines, everything. But let's just stop calling them body positive models.
Yeah.
Let's just stop calling them plus size models to begin with. I think we should just call them models.
Yeah.
And that's where inclusivity will start.
Correct.
If you're making a plus size model walk your runway and then you're calling her a plus size model, or like you've made something in whatever, like just stop glorifying it. Just make it sound normal. Just make it that okay, she was a part of 50 models that walked the runway. I think that's where
Yeah.
we'll start from.
Absolutely.
So that's something I don't understand.
Yeah.
That's something that needs to change, and
Yeah.
we as like people who have a voice should start doing that.
I think it's with everything. Like, even like a female actor or like a woman, like a female entrepreneur. Like, an entrepreneur is an entrepreneur. Like,
Yeah.
why do you, I get what you mean. Like, you
Yeah.
don't have to attach like a tag to it and glorify it and be like, yeah, on your face.
No, I mean, if you're making a plus size model walk your ramp,
Yeah.
and then you're calling her a plus size model,
Yeah.
then you are calling her a plus size.
Exactly.
So what does that mean? Are you being inclusive? I don't think so.
Yeah, correct. Okay. So shifting from this topic a bit, like reflecting on the creative directors' exits and new appointments. Like, do you think, like, first of all, like, I would like you to share with the audience about the new exits and the new appointments and the new developments. And apart from that, do you feel that they should or they have to bring a fresh perspective, or they should, or do you prefer like a seamless continuation of the ethos of the brand or like the essence of the brand?
I think it has to be mutual with what the brand is wanting at that point and what the new creative director has to do.
Yeah.
Just picking up example of what Pharrell has done with LV. After whatever happened to Virgil, it was the most saddest news that the fashion industry heard.
Yeah.
And we couldn't think of the men's segment of LV to be anything else from what he made for it to be.
Correct.
But now when Pharrell has taken it from there and he's doing such brilliant work, keeping the aesthetics of Louis Vuitton alive, keeping keeping the brand aesthetics totally alive.
Yeah.
He's doing such great work. I think he has a stake. He's actually perceiving the brand from his vision, but he's still keeping the brand alive.
Got it.
So I think it has to be a mix. Also, it depends on what the brand is wanting at that point. There are brands who don't want to experiment.
Yeah.
There are creative directors who don't want to take that chance.
Correct.
So they might keep it safe. They might try to just do what the previous person has done. But I think you have to have your individuality, and that's why you are there. If it
course.
wasn't to be that, then the design team would handle it. I would say.
Of course, got it. So the thing is, like, a lot of people, like, before making a purchase, they just see, like, when we talk about creative directors and what's sort of happening, like, they don't really pay attention to that. They just see, oh, this is Gucci, I'm going to buy it. Or, something like that. So with the evolving times and, like we are saying, we're constantly changing, it's ever evolving. Do you think people should start paying more attention to what's actually happening or like know the basics of the brand before they actually make a purchase?
I think I would say really that we people who are in fashion, we live in a bubble.
Yeah.
We are a certain sort of a crowd who wants to know everything. We're doing everything because we are in it.
Correct.
I don't know if a person doing a 9 to 5 would be interested in knowing the creative director's name, honestly.
Yeah, not the name, but
No,
like
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah,
explaining you what I'm
yeah,
thinking, because I'm just thinking because they have to do so much more.
yeah.
I mean, they're doing their job, they're making livelihood, they're trying to meet their ends. Um, it's great for them to know. It's great. Of course, if you're investing in a 2 lakh rupees bag, you should know
Yeah,
about
that's
it.
why I asked you because
Yeah.
it's like an investment.
Yeah,
If you
you
are
should know about
purchasing,
it.
yeah, yeah,
Even if not the creative director's name, you should at least know basics of what the material is, what is your requirement, why you buying it, and
yeah,
what is
yeah.
the end goal of it. You
Got
should
it.
know these basics before buying something.
Yeah,
If you know the creative director's name, great.
yeah, yeah.
But
That's just an addition.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I think it's also. I mean, I'm trying to do that with my videos, so let's see where it goes.
Yeah, you are. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's very informative. Like, I'm sure whoever watches it learns a lot from
So
it.
let's
I
see where
do.
it goes.
Yeah, yeah, great. Okay, so like shifting to our next segment, like this was more about getting to know you and
Yeah.
your vision and your views. So like the next segment is about what's happening like in the current landscape when it comes to fashion. So like Dhruv Kapoor recently showcased at the Milan Fashion Week, and he said he said that I'm not one to delve into political spaces, but obviously I could not ignore the turbulent scene that is happening around the world, and I wanted to somehow use the opportunity and the brand as a metaphor to unite, and follows. So, how effective do you think that fashion can be in addressing or reflecting on current world situations?
I mean, it's the most important thing. You have to be aware about what's happening around you.
Yeah,
We just can't be blinded because we are doing something.
yeah,
It's great what he has said. I think it's so important for a designer to be keeping all those things in mind and then presenting something to the world, which
yeah.
makes so much more sense. Because the audiences are not fools today. They're
Yeah,
consuming
yeah, yeah.
everything that's coming.
Yeah.
They know about everything that's happening around. So if you try to
Absolutely.
connect it to what's happening around the world, it just connects to the audience much more. So I
Absolutely.
think it's great what he said. I'm just so impressed. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, we've seen a lot of failed campaigns like the Zara one as well.
Yeah.
Like but I think what he did was pretty.
It's just
It's pretty
that
amazing. Yeah,
it should be that you have to be empathetic to what's happening around you. You
correct.
just can't be blinded to just create visuals for selling your stuff and getting eyeballs. I think that's
Of
what
course.
Zara did.
Yeah, yeah.
It
I think fashion is not just about like selling and bringing out new stuff and all. It's much more. Like, when you're wearing something, you're making a statement. And if you have like these great thoughts behind it, then why not? It's like a really good platform.
Of course, I mean,
Yeah.
creating and bringing things to people is a different game, but also why are you doing campaigns?
Yeah,
You're doing
correct.
campaigns to be connected to your audiences.
Of course.
And if that's not landing right, then what's the point? I mean, what Zara did was clearly to get eyeballs, I would say, because there must be a team of I don't know how many people. They just all can't be blinded.
Of course. Got it. So talking about campaigns, like, what's like your recent favorite campaign or something that you saw which really,
It just has to be the Loewe and Maggie Smith campaign.
yeah.
It was so fresh, so out of the box. It was just a breath of fresh air. I mean, I could see the products, I could see everything, but I could also see Maggie.
Yeah.
And it was just one of my most favorite campaigns in the long time.
Great. So, talking about another topic, when we come to larger than life marketing or like surrealism in marketing, do you think that it is like a creative outlet or what they're doing is something creative, or do you think it's just like a marketing gimmick or to just catch attention?
You're talking about the CGI ads.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So basically, see what has happened now is I also did a video on it.
yeah,
The internet has reduced people's attention span.
yeah,
So if your video is not connecting with the audiences in the first 3 to 5 seconds, people will scroll up.
definitely.
So they have to do something which is so interactive. They have to do something which is grabbing eyeballs,
Got
and
it.
that's what every brand is trying to do. Trust me, we own a brand, and
Yeah.
it's so important for us to keep doing things which gets people's attention.
Yeah.
Talking about the Jacquemus CGI ads, they have done such great creatives.
Yeah.
And when initially it used to happen, it used to really gather a lot of attention from people. I remember the bags that were scrolling down
Yeah,
around the
like
Paris
buses, yeah,
runway.
yeah.
Sorry, roads. And I don't know how much will it last, because eventually people know that it's not real what they're seeing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
eventually fake.
Yeah.
So I don't know how will it last and what's happening, but clearly they're getting eyeballs, and that's what people
Naturally.
are trying to do
I
online
think they're
these days.
raising like a lot of awareness of
Yeah,
the brand. Like if you don't know something about it, like something about the brand, and then you see like a big bag floating or like
it's
something,
it's doing its
yeah,
job. I
it's
mean,
doing.
there's so many million views on those.
Correct.
So
Yeah. So you know LV has come up with like a sandwich bag, and then Balenciaga had a tall skirt. So like these outlandish items, okay? Like do you think it's practical, or do you think it's not even made for practicality, or like it's not even functional, so like you shouldn't put too much thought into it? Like what is your thought process when it comes to these
see,
items?
again, as I said, it's all to get eyeballs.
Yeah.
We are living in the world of social media. That's where the major marketing is happening, I would say. So I mean, to make your way through people's feed, you have to be doing something which is innovative. Now
Correct.
that innovation cannot land up to you or land up to me. I wouldn't wear a towel skirt ever.
Yeah,
So, but I
neither would
got to
I.
know about it. I spoke about it,
Yeah.
and then my audiences also know about it now. So it's just to be doing things that gets your attention. I think much more than anything else. And it's up to us to consume it or not.
Okay, so who do you think are some of the best dressed people in the industry according to you? Or it can be like in Bollywood, it can be in the fashion industry, it can be international or in India, anywhere.
Currently, I'm liking what Alia Bhatt is doing,
Uh-huh.
and I think it's also to do doing with the people that they're working with.
Got it.
Priyanka Kapadia is styling her for her recent uh, appearances, and I've been loving what she's doing with her. I also love what Anushka does most of the time.
Okay, so we have always heard that shoes define your personality. And sometimes, you would hear your grandfather or grandmother say that do not trust people who are wearing pointed shoes and this, that, like. So the thing is, like, I've seen your content and you have like a great collection of footwear and you often talk about it. So what are your go-to brands like for footwear, and also how do you think like while purchasing footwear, like what should people keep in mind like about their personality, or they should just try whatever?
I mean, they should just think of what their outings can be.
Uh-huh.
This formal, this casual. Invest in great sneakers. I mean, that's the most important because we wear that almost every day.
Yeah, it's really
So,
comfortable, so
yeah, that's the most comfortable part of footwear, I would say. Then I'm obsessed with mules these days. So that's one of my most go-to things because we just have to slide in and just move.
yeah.
So that's what I'm enjoying at this point. There's also, I mean, in terms of brands, I really I'm loving what Prada is doing with their footwear and also Balenciaga. So these
Got
two.
it.
I mean, for women's, I would say there's Loewe who's doing like
Yeah,
great,
yeah.
great footwear.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you had to check out, go see Loewe. They're doing some innovative stuff.
So what's like the hottest shoe of the season if you had to like name one?
There's not one. There are many. I've actually done a video on this again. Sorry, I'm plugging that in here.
No, please.
But Loewe
Yeah.
has done such great footwear for women. I mean, you guys should just go and see because it's so innovative, so eye-catching. It's just great.
Is there anything that you can think of that was like a failed collaboration, like let's say Tiffany and Nike, like didn't really work out?
But I'm seeing so many people wearing it. I mean,
Yeah,
it
but
didn't work out because maybe we didn't like it.
yeah,
We were
it's
expecting
just
so
my
much more.
personal
Yeah, we were
views.
expecting
Yeah,
so much more out of that collab.
yeah,
But like,
exactly.
see, we see so many people wearing it. Their resellers selling it for lakhs.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know if it's a failed collab. Clearly, they have made
According
money
to
out
me,
of it.
maybe I didn't like it
yeah.
much.
No, we
Yeah.
had a lot more expectations from that collaboration.
Yeah, like I was
apart
expecting
from just a
something
blue
like
tick.
Tiffany and Nike, it'll all be bling and nice and this and
Yeah.
like that's what I was expecting, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
No, but I think it's Nike is such a great marketer.
Yeah.
The whole vibe is so that it just lands. I don't know how,
Absolutely.
but like I'm seeing resellers selling those shoes for lakhs. So I'm
Yeah.
sure they're making money out of it.
Yeah. So which one of the Nike collaborations do you like? Like I think they did one with LV, they did with
I love the
Dior.
LV. The
Yeah.
aesthetics were on point. I quite like that. I like the Dior as well.
Yeah.
The Dior Nike collab was pretty great.
Yeah, yeah, great. So when we talk about India and the international front, like can you think of any cross-cultural collaboration that has taken place? Like, I mean, we don't often think of that. Like, I mean,
There was Sabya and H&M, which
Oh,
was a
yeah,
worldwide
yeah,
collab.
yeah, yeah.
It was a moment again for us. Uh,
Absolutely.
who would have thought, right? It
Of
was
course, yeah.
H&M can be whatever. It's a fast fashion brand, of course, but it is a globally present brand.
Yeah,
And that
absolutely.
collaboration was available at every part of the world.
Yeah.
And I remember being in the queues to get that collection, of course.
Yeah.
And the pieces were great. So that was a collection I think we'll all remember for years.
Yeah. So a lot of people today are also collaborating with artists, like for their brands. Like recently I saw this post that Viraj Khanna, the co-founder of AKOK, and he's an artist as well. So he's like collaborating with Puma. So like if you had to collaborate with an artist for, like, let's say Tand, so which one would that be? Which artist do you like sort of would like to go ahead with?
I think we're pretty in our nascent stage to be
But
collaborating with
still,
any
if
brand.
you
We just did a collaboration
yeah.
with Akshay Tyagi,
Okay.
who is, I would call him an artist because he creates styles and he's a costume person.
Yeah, yeah.
We did a collection with him. It was a second collection, pretty new for a brand to be doing collaborations, but that landed up so greatly. Like it was just one of the most well-received collection in our this thing.
Great.
So yeah, we
So
have
you've
actually
already
collaborated with an
yeah,
artist.
yeah. Nice. Lovely. Love that. Okay, so we come to our last segment. It's like a game. I'll ask you 7 questions. It's not a rapid fire, but like if you're quick, it'll be great. It's called fashion, this and that, and you have
Okay.
to choose one option.
Okay.
Cool? Okay. Would you rather carry a Balenciaga bag that resembles the Lay's potato chip, or like a baguette bag from Moschino?
The Balenciaga lays.
Nice. Okay. The KFC Crocs bucket clogs or the General Mills cereal themed clogs? Your preferred Crocs collab?
The KFC.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, loved
Yeah,
it.
like you have a nugget on your
It
foot.
was just fab. I wouldn't be hungry. Actually, I would be hungry all the time.
You will be hungry all the time, yeah. If you get an opportunity to dine with one of these style icons, who would it be? Coco Chanel or Virgil Abloh?
Virgil Abloh.
Yeah.
I just loved what he has done.
Absolutely.
So I think, yeah.
Yeah. With all the recent episodes of Coffee with Karan, which episode would you like to be a part of? Arjun and Aditya or Siddharth and Varun?
Siddharth and Varun. I would have loved to see Karan Johar getting roasted by Varun Dhawan, which was one of my most
He
favorite
has so
parts.
much energy.
Yeah.
Like that guy has a
Yeah.
lot of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Okay, so which Indian designer out of these would you choose for like a big occasion? Gaurav Gupta or Sabyasachi?
As much as I love Sabyasachi, I think it has gotten into the likes of a lot of people. I think Gaurav is doing great work. So
Yeah.
I would actually, my aesthetics would more be him. It
Got
would
it.
also actually depend on what occasion I'm going for. It's actually, if it's more
Yeah,
English, then I
yeah,
would say
yeah,
Gaurav. If it's
yeah.
more Indian, then I would say Sabya.
Yeah.
Again, adding to Gaurav's scale, I think we have seen so many celebrities wearing it, from Beyonce wearing it multiple
Absolutely.
times
Yeah,
to Cardi
yeah.
B. I think he's just doing the right thing.
I think both the designers are loved by
Sabyasachi
so
has
many.
actually
Yeah.
created something which I don't think a lot of people can do.
Absolutely.
So he's a legend.
He is.
Yeah.
Completely. Great. If your shoes would do the talking for you, how would it describe your personality? Playful or serious?
Most serious, but sometimes playful.
Got it. So the last question, a hat or a beanie? Your preferred accessory?
Hat.
Great. Okay, so thank you, Rakshit,
Thank you for having
coming
me.
to this episode, and everybody who was watching. Thank you for watching this episode. If you have any suggestions for us, if there's anything that you would like to see, if there's any topics that you would like us to discuss, please let us know. You can write to us at pods@indiatoday.com or drop a text on 89889 66996. Thank you. Bye.